the Bible says, fear not, fear not, fear not, 365 times.
Wow.
And, you know, one for every day of the year. But, you know, it takes a lot to be able to say that, you know, I'm afraid.
Yeah, it does. It takes a lot of vulnerability
Yes.
from people, from myself especially. With that, I just spoke from my heart. So, and I know when you come from the heart, it reaches the heart, and I see a lot of people out there kind of bounce into it, so it makes me feel good. Yeah.
Well, it ain't all a sad story. In fact, it ain't a sad story at all. You have a story of victory. You made it, girl.
Yeah.
And you got a lot of stuff going on under the name Made Girl. Tell us, you know, how you came up with that concept, and, you know, let's talk about Made Girl Publishing, Made Girl Music first.
Yeah.
You've got both of those going on.
Well, the music is just me putting back into myself, investing in me and so many other people. Right now, I'm the first artist on the label, but I am looking for talent, and so I think just by my walk, I'm able to, you know, teach a little bit, to say, you know, what it's supposed to be about, like in the studio, or, you know, if you wanted to learn about engineering, and just being a teacher as well. But Made Girl Music is just that. It's just not what you signing in a label and nobody telling you how it works. I want to be able to explain to people how this really works. You don't just sign a contract and you get all this money, you don't have to put the work in. You got to grind, you got to put the work in, but it also, you know, teaches you about music and songwriting. So I want to be that. As far as Made Girl, just the company alone, I just feel like what doesn't break you makes you, and I've been in this industry, and it's bruised me a lot, but I'm not broken, you know. And so I want other women to understand what that feels like, to feel comfortable in your skin, because it took me years to get here. But I think that with, you know, so much responsibility that I have, it's like, it's not just about the music, to be able to walk in my purpose. I think God has so much more for me to do, not just music. It's so much, you know, even with the cookbook, like you were talking about earlier, about eating better, you know, being more conscious of what we're putting in our bodies. When my father was diagnosed with diabetes, I'm like, everybody kept saying, it's genetics, you can get it too. I'm like, no, I don't want it. So I want to be able to eat right. And so I share my story of being the big girl in Escape, and everybody was like, oh, she can sing, and she can dance, but it was always but she's a big girl. And I had low self-esteem early on, and so as I started to understand what eating right really entailed, what it meant, I'm like, I have to show people, I have to tell people my story, and I can't always go out to every household. So I created this book of the recipes that I share with my grandmother, or with my mother in the kitchen, and even my husband and my son and I, we come up with different recipes. I think we're losing touch of sitting down as a family and having conversations. And we talk about mental health. Nobody's talking anymore. Everybody's on their phones and nobody's giving information, so I'm going to give it. If you want to hear it, I got it, you know? So